just absolutely love that song, and even though I did write it myself.
She did.
Well, you know, we had thought about doing a couple of Elvis songs, because I know we have some Elvis fans here tonight. And you know, I travel a lot, and I have to if I want to eat. That's how I make my living. But you know, I went up to Memphis I flew from Natchez, Mississippi on Southern Airways. I don't know if anybody remembers Southern Airways or not, but I flew, you remember? I flew up from Faraday, but we had to go to Natchez to the airport, and then I caught the Southern Airways flight, and I was picked up at the airport by this woman who was my sister-in-law at the time. And when she got me from the airport, she said to me, she said, well, you know, I think it would be great if you could meet Elvis. Well, you know, I hadn't really thought much about that because I am a Jerry Lee Lewis fan. I was one then, I'm one now. That's what I've always been. So I didn't think a whole lot about it. I just said, well, whatever, you know, okay. And so I really wasn't that impressed with the whole situation. But when we got there, when we got to the Memphian Theater, a little small theater, we walked in, and I looked across the lobby, and I saw Elvis standing there in front of the concession stand. There was a little bit of light shining on his face, and I wasn't prepared for what I saw. He was beautiful and masculine at the same time. And I was really quite shocked. So he saw us, and he walked over toward us, and as he started walking toward us, I looked at him, and you know, the closer he got to us, the better he looked. He came on over, and of course he knew the woman that took me there. I'm not going to call her a lady because she really wasn't one. And so he came on over, and he shook hands with me. And he kissed my hand with those sexy lips. Forgive me, honey. But he had these really sexy lips. And I was really quite shocked by the whole thing. So I'm standing there, and so he's talking to her, because at that time, Harley Davidson had given two motorcycles, one to Elvis, one to my brother, and they would ride those motorcycles around in Memphis. And you know, this makes me sound like a groupie, but I would have loved to have been standing on a corner in downtown Memphis and see Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis ride by on Harley Davidson motorcycles. I didn't get to see that, but I wish I could have. It would have been so fantastic. And so he was absolutely so charming and so nice. And then he looked at us, and he was leaving us, nice to meet you, whatever, and walking away. But when he got to like the middle of that little lobby, he stopped and turned around and looked at me, and he was laughing. And I said, why is he laughing at me? This is embarrassing. And then I realized I had not said one word. I could not think of anything to say. And he probably thought, poor Jerry, this is his sister. And I was so embarrassed. And what made it even worse was I realized that I was standing there like this. Very embarrassing. You know how when you do that and you catch yourself and you try to straighten up, and it's too late. It's too late. You're already embarrassed. But you know, I was very, very young, but I was very mature for my age.
13.
And I had one thought. I had this one thought. One night with you is what my heart's praying for. The things that we two could plan would make my dreams come true. Just call my name, and I'll be right by your side. I need your sweet helping hand. I My love's too strong to hide. I always lived a very quiet life. I ain't never did no wrong. Now I know my life without you has been too lonely, too long. One night with you is what my heart's praying for. The things that we two could plan would make my dreams